Thank you for joining me on this very first edition of the NecroGears behind the scenes creation webcast. As some of you might know, NecroGears is kind of this idea that I created a while ago about these giant biomechanical zombie type creatures, and I've always just wanted to make like a little game about it myself, so this is kind of my first attempt, I guess, at doing something like that. I will be getting some programming help down the road on this, but for now, I just wanted to use what was available to me in, like the Unity Asset Store, using Pro Builder, also using UFPS to do, just some initial kind of player movement stuff. I'll probably swap that out later, but it's a great start to getting this project done. Or I might use it too. They got some nice third-person stuff going in there. Just using the default Unity soldier character, I think, that came with the package for now, but that'll be fine for setting up my my level development. And so the purpose of this cast is basically to do something for level development. So I wanted to basically go through and design the first level and bring you guys along on my design process. And I'm using Pro Builder and Maya to do it. So I'll divide this into a couple different videos, and I definitely want to record kind of the whole first level creation. So we'll just jump right into it and see how I do. Just gonna go for it. So the style of the game is kind of a medieval kind of, I guess, biomechanical meets medieval meets kind of death, destruction, post-apocalyptic horror kind of world is what I'm going to be developing. So don't have a lot done here, but hopefully as we get through this first level, we'll make some cool stuff, and you'll get to kind of see my process for designing a level. So I'm just gonna record this whole thing and probably break it up into a couple of things, but you guys can follow along if you want. This will be a free tutorial on my website at matthewnewman.net. And just so you guys know, in terms of assets, I am using the Procore assets, which are Pro Builder, Pro Grids, and Quick Decals, which are really, really great. And just for my player controller, I'm using the UFPS plugin, both from the Unity Asset Store. I think there's some pretty good deals. I think Procore is, I think, $90 for the set, and UFPS I think it's even cheaper. So definitely check those out. Both awesome tools if you're trying to do a third-person or first-person game. So with that being said, let's jump into this. So I threw my character prefab in there. I threw a little plane in there I built with with Pro Builder, just to kind of get things started so I can play. And very, very basic right now, nothing going on. But we're gonna build off this and make this cool, right? So with that being said, let's jump in here. So usually when I make levels, I zero everything out. So this initial piece that I made for Pro Builder was set on 0 to 0 kind of world axes, and then I kind of go in the positive from there on the Z. So as I build, I'm always pushing forward on the Z axis, and just for me that always helps. A lot of people, sometimes they'll just start building things in kind of random areas on their level and their scene, and I kind of feel that's not exactly, you shouldn't really do that. I think it's better to kind of have some type of orientation, and that's also good when you're trying to align things in your game. You kind of have a sense of where things are located. So let's just dig in here and see what we can do. So first up, I'm going to design some type of castle. It's going to be definitely like a horror kind of medieval castle. So to start, if you're using Pro Builder, really, really awesome tool. I like to set up my Unity scene where I put the Pro Builder tools on the side right here. That's my level building tools, and then as I need shapes, I'll have this little shape tool window that kind of pops up here. I use that, in accordance with the shape tool, and just go back and forth, and then use the edit tools as I need to kind of edit the geometry. So as I come in here, since this is my initial kind of opening terrain, we're just going to kind of make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to spread this out. Definitely use the the Pro Grids plugin. It's really awesome for snapping things. I think I have it set to half of a unit, so every time I move something it snaps to half of a unit, which is just really killer. It'll help you align things perfectly in your level, what you're trying to do. Let's see, we're going to start out here. I'll kind of extrude this. And I'll bring these in. The great thing about Pro Builder too is as you use these tools and you start building out your level, once you get towards completion on something, you can export it out. So I can export this geometry out into Maya. You know, do some, if this was a terrain, for example, I could add a lot of detail in it in Maya, and then bring it back into Unity, vertex paint it, do some really cool stuff to it. So I'm not really concerned about that right now. I'm just kind of getting a nice plane to kind of define where my level is going to be. So come in here and just start kind of fleshing this out. Nothing really crazy right now. So I'm kind of, I was like doing some kind of circular element where the level kind of starts. That looks pretty good. There's a lot of good hotkeys too that the Pro Builder guys have. Really love this tool ever since I've been using it. Using it for about a year now, and just killer. I can select a couple sides here, extrude them out, hold down Control, and you can also snap, so you know that those are coming out in the even. Come on this side, I'll bring that in a little bit, and the other side, same type of thing. I'll come in here. And again, I'll probably be taking this out in vertex painting. This is just the opening kind of geometry piece for the beginning of the level. But we'll probably be completely scrapping that eventually. But it's good to have something in there. And we'll kind of feed this into the initial starting point of the level. Let's have this come in. Looks pretty good. And I will then bring this in some more, like so. One thing I like to do in Pro Builder is if I'm going to build, let's say, like some mountains or hills or even just walls on a particular piece, come into the, we'll select the edges around this entire piece, and eventually I'll probably cut out that bottom because I won't need it, but select the edges, something like that, and then I will go to my extrusion tools right here. Distance, I'll set it to, I don't know, let's say like 8, right? Extrude, alright, that's pretty cool. And right away, because I have that piece, I can kind of pull those up, and boom, I've got instant kind of geometry going on for some type of hillside or valley or whatever I'm trying to create here. So that's a pretty quick way that I've found just to kind of make some simple kind of hill geometry. I think this opening area is going to be more of like a kind of mountainous, kind of cavernous region, and then it's going to feed into the castle that I'm going to build in here, and the castle will be kind of your standard kind of dark castle, almost maybe something Quake style or something like that, just kind of old school. I love that kind of look, but with my own spin on it, obviously. But something like that looks good. And then again, extrude it maybe another time. It's great that they just have these preset kind of distances that you can use. It just really helps with kind of getting something going here. Extrude. Alright. Maybe I'll bring that part in a little bit. Bring it down. Extrude again. Extrude again. Alright, so right away I've got this really nice kind of opening piece that I can work with, I can do something with, right? And then I'll probably go in and start actually deleting a lot of these faces in here. You know, stuff I don't need. I probably could have done this with actual planes, but sometimes it's good just to work with solid geometry to get something going. But right now I'm going to cut out all these pieces so we have just a set plane to work with in that starting area. And this might be a little tedious. Probably shouldn't have done it this way, but whatever. That's what I'm doing. So it's going to come in here. Kind of delete all these. Alright, grab these faces and just take these out. Don't need them. Sure, nothing selected on this side. Alright, that's looking pretty good. And we'll just this one. So there we go. We'll just X-nay those. Gone. Okay, let's look more like it. Looks like we're that edge right there, and take that out. I don't need that. Delete that. There we go. Now we just have a basic kind of plane, so one-sided poly structure. Can add some smoothing to this too if I wanted to, but this is good. I just want a chunk. I could probably take this into Maya after I'm done and subdivide it a couple of times, and then just really go nuts on the just kind of the terrain layout and make it look a lot cooler. But this kind of gives me a good idea of where I want to start. So if I play it, just come in here and like, okay, obviously I've got some type of terrain structure going. You know, it's not great. It's very just plain, but this is a good kind of starting point. I can always add in some type of entrance structure that's closed off or something like that, and then feed into this castle. But this is kind of a good area for me to run around here and just kind of test it out and see if this works. This is pretty cool. Nothing crazy, but you get the idea, right? So yeah, I would definitely consider exporting this piece when I'm ready. Excuse me, and bring it into Maya, or even like you can bring it into ZBrush or Mudbox, right? Really go crazy on the terrain. You kind of have the set chunk in the size you want. Just export it as an OBJ, bring it into either one of those programs, subdivide it a couple million times, go nuts on it, then maybe take it into TopoGun after that, then bring it back into Unity, and then it'll be pretty close to the size it needs to be, and you just a little bit of fudging, you can probably get it to work perfectly. So let's just close this piece off right here. Select all these little pieces. Come in here. We're going to same thing. I'm just going to extrude those. Boom. And I'm probably going to bring this all in. Down. Some kind of entrance element here. And just kind of tweak it a little bit. Boom. I'm just going to pull that down a little bit. Not too worried about these other pieces because in my mind I'm really not going to see those. Maybe even not even hardly any of these pieces. This will all just be fed into the opening of the castle, so this will just be kind of, you won't even see that. So cool. Another thing you might want to do is add smoothing just to kind of give it more of a natural feel. So why don't we just kind of tweak some of this too so it looks more like a terrainy-esque kind of area, even though it's not, but not even close to finish, but it's just something, right? Stuck something in there, we can start playtesting, doing things. Alright, so that's looking terrainy-esque, right? Kind of like mountains. Something like that's good. That's looking good. Good enough. Alright. Add some smoothing to this. So I'll select the object. Go into my smoothing sets. They give you these nice smoothing groups with different varying degrees of smoothness. I'm just going to choose the maximum, so I think it's 24. It's fine for now. Because that'll be all altered later when I export this and bring it into ZBrush and that kind of stuff. I love the vertex colors, so I'm just using the standard kind of checkerboard pattern as I build. But adding just simple vertex colors is great because right away, get this little menu that pops up. I can just pop in some so I select my object here. If it lets me. Oh. Let's see. What's going on here? Huh. That's weird. Usually it lets me assign those vertex colors. I have to select my faces. Let's try that. Huh. I don't know. Maybe the vertex colors are not working, but whatever. I don't care right now. Not too worried about that. You can always just swap a texture in if you need to. That would probably be the easiest way. So, find something that works online or wherever as a temporary and then change it later. For now, I'll probably just bring in some type of very, very simple texture. Just use that. So I'm just looking on my computer here real quick for a rock texture that I can replace. So we'll come into NecroGears, assets. Let's just make a folder called textures. There we go. Rock. Save. Cool. Down here. And I'll just go into my material editor. Let's see, make sure my project window's open here. Window projects. Going to make a textures folder. I'm going to create material called rock. Great. It's my rock material. Then I will just drag a material into that. Great. Change the. There we go. So I'll just drag a quick select on there. There we go. I'm just going to adjust the properties of this material. Oh. Cool. So there we go. Just a really simple rock material. I'll be replacing this, but just a temporary piece I found, which will work just fine. And there's so many seams and just bad things going on with it, but that's okay. All that will be fixed when I make my own material and whatever. Come in here. Okay, that's great. Close that guy off. Okay, so we'll start building our castle now. So now we have this just basic kind of starting area that we can do something with. Great place to start building our castle. All right, so come in here. Open up my, okay. Like I said, the game's going to be kind of something I don't know, it's like a post-apocalyptic spirit world, hell-based kind of just awful realm. This is basically where all this stuff goes down. These giant biomechanical zombie-esque creatures duke it out in glorious gib flying fashion with huge guns and just swords and everything. Just everything. This basically just kind of my ode to all the games I loved in the 90s, right? Not great on story, awesome characters, huge guns, just run through, kill everything in sight. That's basically what this is. It's kind of my it's just fun. I want to have fun with it. I want to make a game that I think is going to be fun and fun to play, and so this is where I'm going with it. So we'll see. So, okay. Open our shape window. Freaking love Pro Builder. It's so awesome. Just the fact that you can right away start fleshing out a level and then start playing it. It's killer. Love it. Okay. Build some massive chunks here. Build a cube. You can set a lot of these sizes in the preset windows, but I kind of just get in here and start grabbing the tools right away for what I need. Start fleshing out sides of this castle. So as I said before, you know, a lot of this geometry that I had in there, it's, you know, there's no need for it to even be in there because it's just going to be basically the geometry of the castle will go right into it, so you won't see any weird edges or anything like that. It'll just feel natural. And you can like blend everything in by adding extra rocks and pieces like that everywhere. And when we vertex this and add our ZBrush piece in and, you know, all that stuff, it's going to look great. So come in here. I'm just going to what do I do here? I'm just coming up with this on the fly, like nothing crazy, right? Extrude. Come back in. Bring it down. Something like that. Sure. Extrude. Kind of just freedom of thought, right? I'm not gonna pay too much attention to detail. I'm just gonna go and just start building, just start having fun and just getting this thing done. And then I'll be doing some other videos too. Basically, we'll be doing some character design videos, some ZBrush videos. More level. I want to do a bunch in this series of level design videos just to get. Let's see. We're gonna mirror this piece. Oops. So again, we're gonna mirror this. Let's see. Oh, whoops. Lied. Bam. There we go. Some great mirror tools. So you can just build one side and then boom, got everything set up. So building the sides of this entrance of this castle. Let's see. Some type of wall here. Words cannot describe how much I love Pro Builder. It is just a killer tool. Just to be able to do all this so quickly, it's just awesome. These guys, they know what they're doing. It's great. Here. Looks good. experiencing some errors with my, I guess materials or something. Something weird's going on with ProBuilder. But looks like it's fixed, hopefully. There we go. I guess didn't have material applied. That's what was going on. Some confusion there. Build this massive entrance. It's going to be killer. Okay. Probably going to move these guys over just a shade. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 7. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's great having the checkerboard pattern because you can literally kind of eye things very, very easily. You don't even have to eye it. You can just count the spaces, and everything will be aligned perfectly. It's great. This is a 1-to-1 grid that I have on here, so it just works really, really well. Let's see. That looks pretty good. I like to do kind of a dual stair effect. So I'm going to have these giant, massive kind of stairs, and then I'm going to have a nice set of stairs kind of leading up into them. And then some type of giant archway in here. It just looks intimidating and massive. And just having this kind of blocked out, white-walled version of your level, most time in level design for a lot of different games, people will, they white box the entire level before it's done, and then it's just art replacement, right? It's essentially what I'm doing here. It's just great to have this whole thing kind of laid out, so when I'm ready, I can take this back into any art program, Maya, 3ds Studio Max, whatever. I've got everything in its place. I know, how it's going to look, and then I can bring it back in here into Unity, and boom, we've got a nice, it'll literally snap into place wherever we need it. I like to save everything out in different folders, so this might be an entrance game object with all these ProBuilder objects inside it, and then when I'm ready, I can just replace it out. So prototyping, it just goes so fast. Or, I can just use the ProBuilder geometry itself if it's good enough. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy to it. I can just use the UV tools and use what's in here. It's only if I really, really, really want to get into the detail stuff, I'll add stuff to it. What I like to do too is I'll use the ProBuilder kind of geometry as a base, right? So just as a base template, and then kind of stick things on top of it. right? So trims and detail elements and gargoyles and whatever. And you can get away with a lot of stuff if you've got a nice repeating texture that's got some great detail in it. You know, your audience isn't really going to know too much, especially if you're doing something for mobile or whatever. Let's see. Play this out and see how this looks. There we go. It's looking cool. Jump up here. And really, this is just super simple geometry going right here, nothing crazy. But that's okay. That's kind of what we want. I'm going to raise the sides of these up so you can see them a little bit more. Like having these kind of over the top. Just make this thing look massive. Down here, I'm going to turn my player around so when he starts, we see what we're looking for. There we go. I think that's good. Let's see. Play. Bam. Perfect. Perfect. There. One of the reasons too I like this UFPS plugin just for level building is they give you this nice third person kind of character. So right away you can kind of get a good reference of scale. Works out really, really well. You know, he'll obviously be replaced by my character eventually, but you know, it's a good starting point. It's something. It's way better than the weird kind of 80s looking Unity techno dude they give you. I'm not really sure what that dude is. But let's see. Alright. Come in here. Let's see. Do I want to do anything extra here? Probably just start fleshing out the inside of this guy. It would be nice to do some type of column treatment. Came in here. Some type of columns on the side. Cube. For now. I'll come in here and bring this guy down. Just something, some kind of visual element, nothing crazy. I'm not sure what the heck this is, but I'll make it into something cool. Okay. On your mirror, you can only do one thing at a time. Oh wait, no, I lied. You can do it all at once. Let's see, mirror, bam, there we go. Sweet. Drag these guys over. Actually, they look kind of cool. I love the rotation snapping too. It's really awesome. Pro Builder. Just come in here. I'm just gonna reuse these guys. Forward a little bit. Sure. Something like that. So right away, even with some thick and chunky geometry right here, we can do some pretty cool stuff, right? Already starting to kind of get a vision for how I want this this opening of this castle to look like. You know, and a lot of these elements I can all of these elements I could export out if I wanted to, add more detail to them in a 3D package. But just getting the pieces in here to start really goes a long way, right? Because right away I'm like, okay, you know, if I was working with a client, I could send them the level of kind of what we were thinking, and they can right away get a sense of where, you know, where we want to go with it, right? They're like, oh man, okay, I like what you're doing here, I like what you're doing here. Okay, so I'm gonna throw some lights in here just because light, point light. Sure, let's throw some down here. Bam. My settings. Let's make this. I love greens. Greens and blues are my favorite. I just think they look so cool when you're doing something. You're doing like level design. I always just like a green and blue look. So notice a lot of my games. You know, Grave Stompers, the first game I made, there's a lot of greens and blues going on in there. Tried to vary it up in the levels, but I just like that look. Always been a fan. Kind of, you know, it looks spiritual, a little bit of heavy metal. It just, I don't know, just, I dig it. So that's looking cool. Let's see, play this out. Come up here. Alright, so that's looking cool. Definitely want to do some type of just abnormally large entrance. I think it would look really cool. This game's going to be very over the top, so I want a lot of just really crazy kind of visual elements that are also absurdly over the top. So, you know, for instance, the beginning of this level having just this giant gate that's an opening to this castle, I think is going to go a long way. And this really needs to look over the top. I'm almost thinking it should lead into some type of giant head or mouth. Well, why not? Well, let's do that. Let's do some type of head or mouth, and kind of coming up with this on the fly, which is fun. Yeah, should take you guys along for the journey. So let's see here. Let's put some stairs in here. Preview. Love their stair tool. Stair tools just kicks ass. It is so cool. You just come in here and right away just get some badass stairs. All set to size. Everything you need. Just come in here. Change the width. 5. Give me enough space. Let's see. 6. Needs to be 6. 7? Oh, I guess it's 7. What will be? Oh no, it's 6.5. 7.6.5. Let's go. I guess this grid was 0.5 grid, but that's okay. That's great. So that's good. So we'll reduce the height. That guy fit right there. 2.5. Depth is great. Number of steps. That's what we need to increase. Something like that's cool. Give it 16 steps. There we go. Build stair. was kind of a nice little happy accident right there. It looks cool. I dig that. Come in here. Extrude. And, apologies if you hear my child in the background. He is just woke up from his nap, so I'm gonna have to deal with that, but whatevs. Let's see. That's looking cool. Just gonna bring this all down one. Let's see. How's this looking here? Grab these verts. Just pull this one back down. How are we gonna fix this? You know what? I'm just gonna come into these steps. Going to, you know what, easy. We will just you know what we'll do? We're gonna add some edge loops into this. I like this where it kind of stair steps down like that. I think that looks cool. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll just pull that back. There we go. That looks cool. Yeah. That's sweet. Okay. I'm cool with that. So come in here. It's looking good. Yeah, I actually really kind of dig what's going on. I kind of want to do a treatment with that. Oh, that'll look nice. Play that out real quick. That actually turned out nicer than I thought. So just run up these guys. Cool. It's looking good. Let's see. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay. So, I think we should do a dual set of stairs. Let's do that. Let's take this guy out. Let's start a little sooner. How about there? That's cool. Something like that. Nice. Drag this in here. We'll have this feed into the entrance of our massive structure here. Because I did that, I'm probably gonna bring these guys down a little bit. There we go. And also move these lights. There we go. I like that a lot. Just looks like you're running into your impending doom. There's not a lot going on right now, but I really have a vision of kind of where I want to go with this, which is great. I love just kind of designing on the fly. It's just like, you know what, I've got this cool idea, I've got these cool characters, I'm just going to make a game and just do this. You know, and I think it's fun. It's fun. It's just get in and start making something. This is cool. Never get anywhere unless you just do it yourself and just make it, right? So, let's see. I like these elements for some reason. Definitely going to take these into Maya and then probably ZBrush and maybe a little bit of Mudbox for some texturing. Really make these like some cool kind of spiky elements that I can reuse. I just like the look of them. I think it looks cool. It kind of gives a almost like Lord of the Rings kind of feel to it. like the dark castle kind of feel. Okay, so now we are going to lead into the castle. First thing I want to do before I do that is get into my hierarchy. I've got all this extra Pro Builder stuff in here, and we're just going to just kind of consolidate that into one game object. So we'll just call this castle entrance. And just kind of get all those pieces, go through here. For now, that'll be totally fine. It's really going to help you in your organization later if you just start organizing your hierarchy right away. I kind of dove right into this without doing this, but that's fine. Let's throw that in there as my castle entrance. Oh, whoops. I got this piece. We'll pull that out. Let's call that call this opening terrain. There we go. And we'll make another one for our lights. Just come in here and lights. Grab all these lights, point lights, and just throw those in there. Definitely want to add all your lights into a lights folder, if not several lights folders, depending on how you're eventually going to bake out your scene. That's really going to help in the future, turning those on and off, especially for draw calls and all kinds of stuff. So, this is looking pretty cool. We'll probably do some type of entrance element coming around, like leading you up into this, impending doom structure. But that's pretty cool for the moment. So, the question is, how do I want to lead into this this castle? Got a couple different pieces of reference here that I'm looking at, but I kind of like the idea of having like a giant, some type of giant, like a foyer kind of huge area with a giant staircase and maybe two ways to go once you're inside. I always like that look, especially for your typical kind of castle. Looks pretty good. Yeah, let's go for that. Oh, you know what? I actually want to let's leave all this as the entrance. We'll do another object to start the beginning of the castle, because I want to keep this all by itself, and do another game object with all the other pieces. So I'll just, I'll snap them together, and that should be fine. So I'll come in here. Go back to my cube. Cube. Extrude that. Building out this kind of main area in here. Words can't describe how much I love Pro Builder. Just a great tool. And even cooler features. I'll show you some other stuff. It just makes it wicked awesome. Come in here, just like before, got this nice kind of entrance piece. It's going to work great. I'm going to select these side areas. And that's perfect. So next up, I want to make a wall around this area. So very, very easy. In my extrude, I've just got this distance set to 1. Bam. Click that. And select all these pieces around here. And then just extrude it up. And we'll go like 8. Boom. So right away, we're starting to flesh out the structure of this place, right? I've got an entrance. Now I can start doing all kinds of things with this. Like staircases go up. I can lead into other rooms, which I definitely am going to do. So I'll probably actually delete these out. Another great tool in Pro Builder is using the insert edge loop. So I'll just come in here and second. Get rid of that. Sometimes I'll turn my snapping off if I get weird kind of issues. Like right now, I'm going to turn it off. But I'm just going to use my control snap. Kind of get these areas I'm looking for, so that looks good. Go back here, add another edge loop. Do something like that. There we go. Now I can, and let's do another one around the top here. So we'll drag that up. So that works really, really well in helping define this room out. I'll do another one too. Base area. So right away, this would probably be a pretty great piece I could just leave. I've got different faces here to add different textures, so I could do a nice stone texture on the bottom, in the middle, and at the top for like maybe a some type of molding or something like that inside this room. I'm gonna come in here and I'm just gonna cut out these faces. Oh, that didn't work. There we go. Come in here. These faces. Don't hit the delete key. I do that from time to time. It doesn't work too well. Deletes your entire model. Hotkey is. I gotta remember what the hotkey is for delete. Actions, repair, geometry. Editor, selection, geometry, delete face. Oh, it's backspace. Oh, okay. Duh. That makes things a lot easier. Okay. There we go. Instead of deleting the entire model. Ha! Good to know. Good to know. Some things I want to do with this. I am kind of coming up with stuff on the fly, but I think it's going to be pretty cool. Like that. It's kind of cool. This guy up. Super easy to together. One. Go back in. I'll turn my snapping back on here. Hopefully I can get this aligned properly. Oh, it's going to be a little bit tough. These edges here. If there was a bridge tool. I'm not sure if they have a bridge tool. Let me see. Components, tools, Pro Builder, geometry. Oh, bridge edges, they do. Oh man, that just made things way easier. Let's delete this. That was silly. Alright, so let's see. Does this work how I want it to? If I come in here, window, tools, Pro Builder, geometry, Alt B. Okay, so let's do it. Alt B. Oh, beautiful. That just makes life so much easier. Learning new tools on the fly. Killer. These. See how well it works. Nope. 1-to-1 edges. Still good. Still good. I'm gonna turn my snapping off just in case it's trying to do some weird stuff. Cool. That's pretty killer that I could create this structure really, really quickly here. It's awesome. That's the power of Pro Builder. Just killer. Freaking love it. Okay. Let's see. Great thing is you can come in here, start stitching some of this together. Oops. I'm toggling my snapping on and off as I need to. Good, man. Okay. Come in here. Sometimes I'll drop point lights, and I know I'm kind of designing on the fly, but I'll drop point lights for where I want to put features. So just already I'm thinking as the character kind of runs through this entrance, I want to have some some really just killer kind of intro feature here, like maybe some things in tanks or something. I mean, this is kind of a, you know, it's a combination of medieval meets technology, right? So there should be some weird kind of visual elements that just kind of strike you as you come in. It would be nice to have some type of, or maybe just some type of odd biomechanical statues on each side, just something kind of weird. Definitely some cool lights here and there just to kind of pop it out. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to extrude these guys. Start with one side at a time. Come out here. It's like 5. Almost thinking it would be cool to do some type of staircase that goes up into some kind of other level. So like even if we made this or attached some type of secondary level up here to this piece and then had an area that players could run down here below it with a staircase going up to that, so you can go like around it. That would be kind of cool. I kind of think I want to do that just because it's different. And I don't really care. So let's go for it. Just gonna go in and tidy up my hierarchy real quick as I move through here. Let's go to my window. My hierarchy. Window, hierarchy. There we go. We'll call this interior entrance. Base for that. And you could go in and name these probe other objects, but I'm just kind of working on the fly here, so I don't really care about it at the moment. Probably will go back and do some of that. But that's a pretty solid intro area. This is like coming together kind of cool here. It doesn't look like much, but you know, I can see what I want to do with this as I'm building it. It's almost like you have to look beyond what you're just building, right? And think about what it could be, right? That looks pretty killer. Definitely needs some type of just awesome doorway. And if we're going to do that, we're probably going to have to bring these guys up a little bit. It's okay. We'll do that. Bring my nice little pillars here. And these lights too. Pain. Sometimes that's a problem. So I move these up, they'll probably cover up the lights, making them harder to select. So I'll just get all those at once. Alright. There we go. Move those up slightly. Yeah, that's cool. And that gives us room to do a nice doorway treatment right here. Let's see. Yeah, this will come in here. Start building out some kind of cool doorway. Right here. Yeah, that'll work. I'll just start building a doorway. probably mirror that on the other side. So for now, I think that'll be okay. And this will eventually become my doorway. I'm going to make some kind of cool arch element to put in there. So let's just build this up, right? So extrude it up. Take my extrusions down to 1 here, so I'm not doing that every time. Extrude this up some more. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I might have to do something funky with my doorway. It is oddly shaped, slightly. Nothing too bad, just slightly. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll come in here. I'll slightly move these over. Start building this archway. Right? They have a nice archway tool, but sometimes it doesn't work out exactly how I want it to. So I'm just going to do it by hand, which is fine. Go up here. I'm actually going to push this guy out. I mean in. I'm going to push this guy in. It's a little too thick for doorway. Bring that up like that. There we go. Start fleshing this out. Extrude this guy. Cool. Bring this guy over here. So we'll have 2 pieces. And all we have to do is merge these guys. So we'll merge them. Delete the original object. Cut these faces out. Bam. Bam. And we'll just do our little bridge tool. I'm so glad I learned that. It's so easy to do, but I just lazy sometimes. Come in here, B. There we go. Nice little archway we got going here. There we go. That's looking more like it. That'll give us a really cool area to make some kind of nice door treatment on there. I wonder if I want to. Nah, that's gonna be cool. Leave that as is. The problem is these are 0.5, so I almost need to go 0.25 on my snapping to get the doors right. Let's do it. Let's build our doors in Pro Builder, and we'll export them out, do some crazy ZBrushing on them. But yeah, let's just do that. Come in here, show preview. Put that here. Alright. Something like that. Build the cube. good. This guy out. Some vertex snapping. Then what I'm going to have to do for that center part, I'm going to change my snapping to 0.25 to be in the center of these little guys. These are 0.5 units a piece, so do that. That should fix this guy. There we go. Right in the center. Alright, that door's a little massive. Its width. Should do this, bam. Shade. That's cool. We will mirror him. There we go. We got two nice door pieces of geometry. Let's open one so I can kind of see what. Boom. Perfect too. Oh, they're gonna open great. Do something epic where you run up these just like swing open, all hardcore. Might be cool to do like a some type of iron gate treatment in the middle of these. Maybe in this middle section right here, so it's kind of like a two-fold entrance just to make it feel more epic. So if we took these guys out and built some type of iron gate treatment right here, maybe even like some gears in the front. So right as you run up, you see like the gate comes up and then the doors swing open after that, just so it looks just brutal. But yeah, this is looking really cool. So let's grab this. We'll call this our doorway. Kind of consolidate some of these pieces in my hierarchy here. Create empty. Let's call this doorway. Get this guy out. There we go. So you can see we're starting to get a lot of chunks here that we work on. A lot of work to do. But, you know, I'm starting to flesh it out, right? In an hour that this video is taken, slightly over, I've been able to kind of flesh out the opening terrain. We've got some stairs that lead into this kind of castle element that we're creating. We've got like an entrance to the castle, an interior kind of entrance we're starting to build. We've got a doorway and an arch that we can export out and do something with. We've got some nice little kind of detail elements that will look great. Once we take those out and do something cool with them, maybe add, I don't know, some type of skull treatment with spikes on it or something and reuse that all over as just a nice detail element. Some great base geometry here that we can add trim to and things like that. And this is, you know, this is a really great starting point here to make something really, really, really cool. I'm just trying to think of anything I should add. We'll do another 5 minutes on this video and then cut it loose. But we'll just add some little railings to the front here. We'll just come in here. Show preview. That's just the Power Pro Builder. I just absolutely love this tool. If you're not using it, you should be. Just because it saves so much time. It really just makes your life way, way, way easier. Learning curve isn't so bad either. It's very intuitive. If you're familiar with most 3D packages, you're going to pick it up really, really quickly. It's like Legos. It's just like having fun with Legos. Pretty much how it is. I'll do something like this. Grab these two ends. Extrude them. That's great. Grab the top here. Turn my snapping off real quick. Bring this down ever so slightly. Oh, there's some weird issues here I should fix real quickly. This guy. Just gonna bring that in a little bit. There we go. So what I'm gonna do on here is just add like a little lip to this. So I'll just come in here. That's looking good. Let's take the extrude distance down to 0.10. And there we go. Nice little lip. It's looking cool. It does kind of cut into my side right there a little bit. Duplicate this guy. That will mirror it. This guy over here. Oh wait, you know what? Let's delete that. I want to drag him down because it does. I need to have this go in here just a shade more. That's looking pretty solid. Grab the object, mirror it, bring it over there. There we go. I got kind of a nice intro area. Play this guy. Pretty cool. It's starting to look pretty daunting. Got a couple towers and some other things in there. It's gonna look pretty impressive. And the beauty of Pro Builder, I'll show you right now. One of the absolute beauties of Pro Builder is I've done all this work, right? And I can light bake it and do a lot of stuff to it. And actually, let's do that real quick. Let's just do a quick light bake so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. We'll just throw a big ass light in this other room here to kind of drive the point home. I'll make this one huge. If my inspector wouldn't disappear. There it is. Have the console open here. Close that. We'll just make this enormous just for light baking sake, for fun. Throw that in there. Intensity down. Okay. So this is all set to static. In my hierarchy, I think default Pro Builder objects are set to static, which is great. You can go in and manually set them too if you need to. But if I go into my hierarchy, okay, I'm going to see here. I've got those are those railings. We'll put those in the castle entrance. And just to make sure, I'm going to set these these to, where's my inspector? I'm going to set those to static. Let's change children, so everything is marked as static. We're going to do a quick light bake. Edit, project settings, raw render settings. I'll bring my ambient light to kind of like a bluish tone. Like I said, I love the blue greens, almost like a purplish blue green. Bring that down. Sure, let's add another point light to the entrance, maybe in the front up here when you start. Do something like that. And I think this is, you know, it's either going to be a really simple mobile game as of right now, or I don't know, maybe a downloadable Facebook game or something like that. So I'm going to put my lights in here really quickly. Those look pretty good. Got my entrance, brought my ambience down. I'm going to bring up my light baking window. And the fact that I'm doing this light mapping, bake, skylight, we're going to make it like a bluish. Gather rays, we can do 8,000 for now. There's nothing crazy going on. Single light maps. It's mobile, so we can bring our resolution down a lot. We'll just put 4 for the moment. This is all good. Okay, I'm going to bake my scene. Oh, we should probably save our scene first, right? That's a good idea. Always make a folder, call it scenes. Throw your scene in there. We'll call it scene 01. Super original. Save. And I'm going to, oh, it's baking right now. And you can tell it's baking by this little tiny progress bar. I wish they had a nicer kind of overlay. I'm sure in Unity 5 they probably have something better. But for now, if you're light baking, you'll see this little baking progress thing in the corner. When that's done, as this is, oh, you know what I should have actually, I should have went into my lights, to my directional light settings, go into the inspector, we'll turn on, I'm going to use hard shadows. Okay, that's going to be good. We'll turn the intensity up just a little bit on that, right there. Just make it 1, fine. Get 1. Okay, that's good. Make sure that the hard shadow settings are set. Resolution, we'll do high resolution. Go back into our light baking, light mapping. Let's clear that out. Now let's bake the scene. You see your little light mapping kind of progress bar right here. Almost done, almost done. Shadows probably makes it take a little bit longer. Almost there. It's always good to do just a really simple pass on your light mapping, just to kind of get an idea of where you're going with the whole thing. There you go, it's baking the texture, should be done. Boom, texture's done. Let's take a look at it. Okay, yeah, we've got it all in there. That's great. There's a lot of extra stuff that it baked. So probably the underneath of some of the geometry I was creating. I'll eventually delete all that, so that's all that is right there. You're just getting all the big planes of kind of nothing. But you can see, yeah, we've got some pretty good detail on our light map right there. That's great. Open that up just a little bit. Looks like we've got 2, I don't know, it's 1 single light map, 1024 by 1024, so most of the details down here. That's fine. I know in Pro Builder you can actually tell it to not light certain things, but this is fine. So, okay, so we'll edit your settings. Let's turn off our lights. Inspector, turn those guys off, bam. Man, that light was really, really intense. I don't know if I have my project settings. We'll go to our build settings. That is super intense on the light. I don't know what the heck's going on right there. PC Max, DirectX. Oh, you know what? DirectX 11. Let me go to my build settings. I'm having some issues with DirectX 11. If I go to my player settings, that pops up here. Window. Inspector. There you go. Player settings. Oh no, use DirectX 11. Okay, that's off. Well, that's good. Deferred. Good. Gamma. Everything's fine there. Maybe it was that point, that directional light I had. It might just be a little too intense. Window. Inspector. Let's take this guy down a lot. Shadows, okay. Bake. There we go. Oh wait, no. That's not it. So if you change your lights to deferred also, you'll notice that you can get shadows off your point lights too. You can't get shadows off your point lights in forward lighting for some reason. You need to give you a warning for that. I don't know if that's a... I think you probably could. I don't really know what that error is about. But let's try to rebake this scene. And go back into my... Where's it at? Light mapping. Losing my mind here. Project Inspector. There we go. Turn my lights back on. There we go. That's looking a little more like what I was trying to get going. I don't know what was... Maybe I think my directional light was just way too high. So we're going to rebake this scene real quick. Just click rebake. Just in case you're wondering. Same settings. Letting it do its thing. Yeah, I think my directional light was just way too high. More like daylight. There we go. That's looking better. There we go. It's kind of a little bit darker. It should be more nighttime anyways for what I'm trying to do. That looks good. So I'm going to turn my lights off here. I'll show you what I was talking about earlier. If I go in here, turn my lights off, turn those off, bam. Come to my scene. Beauty of Pro Builder is I can literally have two textures on this whole thing. If I just wanted to run with this and have two textures and restretch them and everything on the UVs and edit the UVs and kind of get the most out of I could with just those two textures, I'll show you right here. I'm gonna play. The beauty is, I go to my stats. I'm chugging along here at 19 draw calls, which is great. Maybe bounces up to 21, but pretty freaking awesome. And you can average around 40 draw calls with tons of geometry going off in your level, which is just killer, especially if you're doing something from mobile, which I think this game might end up being. But yeah, just a heads up, Pro Builder really efficient and great in terms of how it UVs and creates structures. I think it's essentially creating the geometry with code. It's not actually like real geometry, so they're getting away with some really cool stuff. But with that, you know, my draw calls for the most part are fairly low, under 30, with a lot of stuff going off, a lot of geometry happening. I think in fact, I think, yeah, most of the draw calls I'm getting are because I'm using diffuse textures. I'm not even using mobile texture. So if I knock these textures down to mobile, and I'm pretty sure that this guy is diffuse, standard diffuse, which is causing a couple extra draw calls, and so is even just this checkerboard texture I have. It's not a mobile texture. If I knock these all to mobile, here, window, see, where's my project? You go to my textures. First I'll go to my rock, which I know for sure this was set to diffuse. I'm going to knock this down to mobile. Inspector, mobile diffuse. There's a slight degradation in the texture, but not anything crazy. And then I'll go to my Procore. Pretty sure it was my Pro Builder material checker. There you go. Put my inspector on that guy. Yeah, regular diffuse. Let's bump that down to mobile diffuse. And then I think just the character itself in UFPS, base. Actually, I can probably just do it from my hierarchy here. My guy, body, mesh. So, open my inspector. There you go. Yeah, we got bump speculars. We got all kinds of stuff going off. So if we just take this down to mobile diffuse, you're not gonna get the speculars and stuff. But for mobile, you can bake all that in. Nobody's really ever gonna know if you use light probes and are a little careful with it. There is a pseudo PBR texture file you can download that the Shadowgun guys did, which gets away with it very, very cleverly. You know, for the most part, your players aren't going to know. This is for mobile. I'm just talking for mobile. So if we knock all that down, it's just a quick optimization lesson here, and then try this again. Let's bring our ambience up just a shade. Let's play this again. Guaranteeing you. There we go. We're in a pretty solid. We saved a couple, right? Occasionally it bumped up, but a couple draw calls. And it's going to stay like that throughout your game. So, just good to know. Pretty killer. I don't even have this set on mobile at the moment. I bet you if I did set it on mobile, it would probably do some either further optimization for Android. But pretty killer, man. Low draw calls. Get some serious geometry going on. You can do a lot with it. So, anyways, that was kind of a mute point right there, but whatever. Anyways, okay, so this was the first video cast of my NecroGears game. I'm going to keep adding to this. We're going to get through this entire level, piece by piece. Follow along. I'll probably do these hour-and-a-half segments as I get through this and check them all out. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm just going to add them to my YouTube channel, and I'll throw them on my website as well. Probably the NecroGears website as soon as I get that up. It'll be a while, though. I got a lot of stuff I got to get done. But, yeah, first let's get through this level, then we'll get some characters done. We'll go through the process of modeling and from a sketch to a base model in Maya to a full-fledged sculpt in ZBrush, and then bring that into Topogun, and then bring it back into Maya and unwrap it and texture it and ZBrush and Mudbox, bake the textures, do all that, and we're going to rig it in Maya. We're going to do all that so we can replace this dude with our cool NecroGears character, which I'm kind of thinking is going to be some type of fallen angel. I haven't exactly figured that out yet, but still kind of working on the story. I just like my NecroGears characters themselves. But yeah, we'll get there, and it'll be sweet. So thank you for tuning in, and we will follow up with another vidcap soon. So thanks for tuning in, and see you later.